If you were to tell me 4 years ago when we started growing in our basements that we would end up here, I wouldn't believe it. But here we are, one of the most iconic places in the world known for growing cannabis.
Got a winner.
There's just a ton of dough.
Hi again. Sometimes the best adventures start with a simple connection. And we've made some pretty meaningful connections over the years in this community. Connections that have turned into lifelong friendships.
We have been creating content revolving around growing at home and our love for the plant and all things cannabis for almost 4 years now. And through that passion, we have found an amazing community and some amazing friends along the way. Like Dakota from Homegrow TV, Joe from Basement Grow Show, and Mr. Q, who finally started his own channel, Mr. Q's Garden. Friends that share our same passion around growing, learning, and creating.
Last year, we were fortunate enough to get to meet them face-to-face in Las Vegas, when the first project we had planned together came to life, ACINFINITY Pimp My Grow, where we held a contest for the community and we got to completely make over someone's grow space with all the best gear from ACINFINITY. Little did we know, that trip to Vegas was a spark for something much bigger.
As soon as we got back from Vegas, Dakota hit us up along with Joe about the next big adventure he was dreaming of. He had recently returned from a Pheno hunt in California with the Humboldt Seed Company and was amazed by what he had seen there. He wanted to return and bring his friends to share that amazing experience. And so began the idea to travel to Northern California, to the region that started the cannabis movement in the States, known as the Emerald Triangle.
We had such a great time connecting and so many awesome memories from our time in Vegas. Of course, we were on board for this epic adventure. When we brought the idea of the trip to Sydney at ACINFINITY, she was immediately on board with the idea of sharing the knowledge of the legends in the Emerald Triangle and bringing it back to the tent. And together, we all began planning the journey of a lifetime.
We wanted to say thank you, Dakota, for including us on this trip and thinking of us on truly the journey of a lifetime. Make sure you go check out his version of this trip on his channel, Homegrow TV, on YouTube.
This was so much more than just a documentary. This was truly a journey into one of the most mystical, magical, special places on Earth.
This trip is going to take us 2 weeks as we travel to Northern California, going to different farms, meeting the growers, checking out the buds.
What's that?
Probably the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen.
And experiencing the culture. We knew it was going to be a huge project, and we knew we couldn't do it alone.
We needed another member of the team, someone creative, someone who loves growing in this community as much as we all do, someone who could help film and capture those moments and the behind the scenes. We found Jay, Hyperactive Highs, on YouTube, and after a few calls with him, we knew he was a perfect fit for the team.
We also needed a legend of our own, the author of the Cannabis Encyclopedia, Jorge Cervantes.
That's pretty incredible.
Some might say the original cannabis content creator. Jorge has a wealth of knowledge and experience in the area dating back to the very beginning of cultivation in the region.
1977. Then it was like amazing because they had incredible weed up here because, you know, they had better genetics than me.
Along with his assistant, Stefan,
Grandpa, you have to press the button also, huh? Not just looking to.
they brought the wisdom and the laughs to the team.
Mr. Q, a grower,
And I'm a professional joint roller.
smoke tester, American cuisine enthusiast,
I got an American recommendation, and let's just say it didn't fail.
and fellow creator. It's hard to imagine making this trip without him after hanging out with him in Vegas. He's the glue to this joint, keeping the team together and burning strong. And to make this vision a reality, we needed a wizard with the camera. Someone who could capture all the key moments, the audio, and a professional drone pilot. Dakota knew just the person for this. All the way from Spain, Alfred.
We all knew the logistics of this trip were complex. We needed someone who knew how to plan, how to schedule, keep us on track, and could get shit done.
Sydney!
We knew Sydney from ACINFINITY had the skills from planning Pimp My Grow and other ACI adventures. We all vibe well, so it was a no-brainer. Along with Drew, the marketing machine, making sure the budget and the content was on point.
So what is the Emerald Triangle? Why are we going, and why does it play an important role in the history of cannabis cultivation?
The Emerald Triangle refers to a region in Northern California that is known for being one of the most prolific cannabis growing areas in the United States.
The Emerald Triangle is Humboldt County, Mendocino County, and Trinity counties. And that's where all the main growing goes on.
All of which are located in the rugged, rural forests and mountains of the northern part of the state. The Emerald Triangle has a reputation for producing some of the finest and most potent outdoor cannabis in the world. With a long history rooted in countercultural movements, illicit cultivation, and more recently, legal cannabis production.
Our mission: to journey to the Emerald Triangle and meet the legends and the growers who have been mastering their craft for years, and some even decades, to hear their stories and see how they grow some of the most amazing cannabis in the world, and find out the secrets of the Triangle and what makes it so special. And maybe take some of that knowledge back to our own grow tent. With the team assembled, itinerary set, flights booked, and over a year of planning, this dream is about to become a reality.
This is the Emerald Legends, a journey into the Triangle.
I had to get up at 3:20 a.m.
It is currently 5:16 in the morning.
5:16, so we're getting ready to fly out. It's like a 9-hour total flight, but we're gonna be on our way and then see everybody as soon as we touch down. So
Can't wait to see y'all.
can't wait to see you, fam. Is that Basic Grow Show?
Get in here, Jay! Get in here, man!
Seen him in a while. Energies are high, dude. Look at this. That's everybody.
We touched down in Sacramento and were picked up by the crew and began heading north to Humboldt County to Sandy Bar Ranch, the first place we were staying.
The check-in has begun. Everyone's getting assigned their cabins.
Yeah, we saw a bear.
Yeah.
We saw a bear alongside the road. We turned around, and there it was.
Look, and our first dog over here too, bro.
After the 6-hour car ride, we were all excited to catch up, unpack, and get ready for the next day.
I guess I've been named sower of things.
Just come like under.
Hey, look how Joe sued it.
And then do another notch, just so it doesn't come undone.
So how do you sell that?
I put it on the inside.
Joe's epic selling
I put it on. It says, "Is that what you wanted?" He says, "Yeah."
The logo works for me because I'm in my old stomping grounds, you know.
Yeah.
For years and years. This is the 5th decade I'm into this, you know. 50 years I've been making the runs up and down the coast. Glad to be here. It's a real good group we've got with us.
It was so good to be back with our friends, old and new, and so many hilarious moments.
Baby Butter Ranch, take one. That's something.
We got dogs. We might have Bigfoot. Come hang out. Come hang out. And never talk to civilization ever again.
If you guys want to see all the behind the scenes, make sure you go check out the full behind the scenes vid from the Emerald Legends trip on Hyperactive Highs on YouTube.
First warning, dude. First bacon and eggs of the trip. Chef Joe right now cooking it up.
You could definitely feel the excitement in the air with the whole group.
Welcome to the Emerald Legends journey into the Triangle, baby.
Alfred arrived that morning and got right to work on our first piece of content, ACINFINITY After Dark.
I can't believe we're here.
Unbelievable.
And where are we? I guess that's the first thing to talk about. Emerald Triangle, yes, but where does this adventure begin? We are in Humboldt right now in the northern section of the Emerald Triangle, and we're going to be making a full adventure from north, going south, and checking out about 7 different farms along the way, guys.
If you want to check out that live or the really fun scavenger hunt video that we filmed, that was absolutely hilarious, definitely go check that out on ACINFINITY's YouTube channel. Eric Nugshots also arrived that afternoon, and if you guys don't know who he is, definitely check him out. An absolute master and legend with the camera to document all the buds on this trip.
Eric, the legend right here.
We're here. We made it.
Dude, showing up with a fresh live bud.
It was so good to see Eric again, and of course, he brought some gifts.
Wow, man. Well, we just opened up a couple jars.
The band is officially together. We pretty much got everyone here together now. We're about to roll up a few DVs. We're heading up to Nat's tonight. Again, it's not even officially day one. Day one starts tomorrow, but it's already beginning. Adventure's getting nuts.
Nat had an amazing farm-to-table dinner planned for us all, and it was so good. Nothing's better than good food, good weed, and good friends. We spent the rest of the night vibing, sharing stories and laughs, and having a good time. It's hard to believe, but it's still just the first day of the trip, and our journey has just begun.
We've got super motherfucking high. Day one. Everyone get fueled up.
Put it in, guys.
Day one. Get in here, JQ. 4A. Let's go. Yerba mate. 3, 2, 1. Yerba mate!
Our first stop on the trip is Humboldt Seed Company's main breeding farm, also known as the Anchor Farm. This is Nat's farm and where he's been doing the growing and breeding for decades. And we've grown some of these strains at home in our tent that have came directly out of these breeding grounds. So it was super special for us to be able to go there and learn how it's done from the man himself.
Welcome to Humboldt Seed Company's Anchor Farm in Northeast Humboldt. We've got our Pheno Hunt tour group here today. We also put together a nice little tasting bar of both like local fruits and vegetables that we've grown, and then of course some amazing dabs.
Yeah, so when we heard everybody was coming, first thought is like, well, what are we gonna smoke? And so reached out to a lot of our collaborative farms, just friends. So we have stuff from Earl Hill. We got a bunch of the different Pheno winners from last year that they washed into fresh frozen rosin. And some classics like Blueberry Muffin, Granny Candy was there, the new chicken and waffles. Yep. And then we have stuff from the Ridge Boys, which is down in Grass Valley area. They work close with our friends at Wildleaf, and they do a lot of the fresh frozen extract from their fields. So we got a lot of the samples back from last year's Pheno Hunt as well. Friends from Humboldt Fungi, Chris really hooked it up with some of his new mushroom crosses.
I'd be down, but maybe not too early. Oh, whoa, breaking the seal.
Sure.
Just kidding.
That are now legal in California.
No one hosts like these guys do. We show up homegrown melon.
Yeah.
Puff goes in extract.
There you go.
There you go.
Really?
There you go.
Wow.
This thing is so dope. Wow. I've never had a puff though before.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, this is my first
sick.
one. So thank you.
Erie glass tops.
Erie glass tops, bro.
I've never felt so welcome in a place in my whole life. This is amazing.
Round of applause for day one.
Let's go, day one.
Day one! Woo!
The welcome and hospitality was incredible. Being at Nat's farm was special because we met Nat and Ben in Las Vegas last year and learned about Nat's inspiring journey. He's the founder of Humboldt Seed Company, and he's been breeding cannabis for over 20 years. He's been a huge part of his local community and activism for Indigenous people and environmental justice. He also played a major role in helping undam the Klamath River, the largest river restoration project in U.S. history. He stayed deeply committed to these values, serving communities and advocating for justice for over 20 years. Halle also joined us throughout the trip, Nat's daughter, who grew up immersed in growing and cannabis breeding.
To me, it was just like the normal. We were always a farming family, and so we would have our crop of corn and our tomatoes and our peas and our weed, and that was just like the life for me.
She's been involved from the start, helping the Pheno hunts and seed selection.
Pheno hunting has always kind of been like one of my, I would say, like specialties.
Now, Halle oversees key operations and contributes to the company's nonprofit, the Nature's Rights Council, reflecting her passion for environmental justice, Indigenous rights, and her Humboldt County roots.
All right, welcome Pheno Hunters. We wanted to just go over sort of the nuts and bolts of our Pheno hunting process. We really just want you to focus on the ones that speak to you.
A phenotype is the outward expression of a plant. A genotype is the genetic information that you get when you sequence a plant. And then you also have the chemotype. That is the chemical constituents of the plant. When you have all of those things combined together in a great plant, we call it a dreamotype. Dad joke there. Sorry.
So this is the Pheno Hunt rating short form. There are a bunch of different variables on here. Smell strength, is it really, really strong? Trichome density, how frosty is it? Plant vigor is really self-explanatory. Then we also have disease resistance. Yeah. Disease resistance is a little tricky, but you're gonna see diseased plants out there.
And aphids and things like that too. You'll see one plant in a variety will be more susceptible to aphids or spider mites. Powdery mildew is a great one.
Plant structure, that's a little bit subjective. Flower color, purple to green.
When you're pheno hunting, the more plants that you look at, the more likely you are to find the unicorns of the cannabis genome.
And it's always good to put notes too at the side of the column if you find something unique that you really like, because that helps kind of help it stand out.
In 2018, we did the first 10,000 plant pheno hunt that we were aware of in the world. You know, I think we were kind of pioneering massive pheno hunting.
And one of the biggest things to remember is there is no wrong answers to any of this because it is extremely subjective. It's about your senses, your eyes, your nose, and how you resonate with the plant. So that's like one of the most interesting aspects of it for me, is that you really see who gravitates towards what plant.
You know, this is obviously a breeding farm, so our very first and foremost priority is breeding.
Feel like I'm at Willy Wonka factory for cannabis. I just can't wait to see the magic, you know what I mean? I'm pumped up.
Once Nat was handing out the binders and kind of showing us like what we were going to be looking for in all the phenos, it makes sense to put that on some type of scale. So it was really cool to see their processes and how they choose their flowers. We didn't really know what we were getting into. I didn't really know what pheno hunting was. Like I kind of knew the gist of it. We're looking for flowers, but I didn't understand the depths of it, and I have a whole new appreciation for it.
Now that we got the crash course in pheno hunting from Nat and Ben, it was time to hit the fields and check out the plants.
So we all brought pheno hunting vests as a tribute and as a thank you for making this a thing. And we're about to do the reveal. I don't think Nat knows we all have vests. So literally this whole thing of wearing vests is because of Nat. The first time seeing him online in his pheno hunts, he set a trend, and we're making it a thing. As a tribute to the legends that you guys are, we decided to follow suit, make this a thing, and we all showed up with our vests.
I love it.
And we're ready to rock.
I love it. You know what they say, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery.
It all started right here with this, guys.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Feel free to just go through this and
find a winner.
If you find something that you like I like number 4. This one looks pretty fire. So, I might write this one down in the book.
One of the most important things about pheno hunting is keeping the genetic alive. I mean, we end up only keeping 0.001% of the stuff that we pheno hunt.
Like the etiquette, like what's it like? Like are we running up and grabbing the buds, or like how do you act when you get to someone's place to check the terps?
Generally, you never want to grab the bud. People like, you're squeezing my buds. What are you smashing my buds for, bud? Taking like a sugar leaf and like rubbing the trichomes off of a sugar leaf and smelling, that's a great way to get the nose. Or if you're at one of the farms we're going to, they're all cool. You can just go in, take a little bee bud. No one's gonna use that anymore, and give it a little squeeze.
Genius.
And then smell it that way. And that way you get much more accurate, like more robust nose to it. And then you hand it to your friend.
So this right here is a pot.
And then you hand it to your friend.
I hate that.
But by the end of the day with that, you'll wind up having hash on the end of your nose. We call it breeder's nose. And then in between plants, when you are smelling them, like especially where there's so many different varieties, a really great way to neutralize your nose is to smell your skin.
Oh.
Because that's what you smell like to yourself. So it's a way to kind of get back to your base level. Like coffee works really good. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people use. But when it's more subtle smells, honestly, your skin works better. Yeah, Pheno Hunt 2024, Humboldt, living it up.
Checking out all these different strains and seeing what are the best ones, but really I feel like it's kind of a personal thing. It's like what you really like or what you gravitate to.
We're hunting together, but it still feels like such a personal experience. Like you have different preferences, I have different preferences.
She knows which lady she likes.
Who knows?
Yeah.
The perfect amount of fruit and gas.
Like you could just eat it.
It's good, right? There's so many good ones in here. We've been taking notes.
She's beautiful.
Doing our ratings, and who knows, maybe one of these will make it into something.
We've seen just the tip of the iceberg.
There's definitely standout strains, so much more to see.
Yes.
This is the Granny Candy, and this was bred about a month and a half ago. 2/3 of this chamber is our selected Granny Candy clone, and then 1/3 of the chamber are Granny Candy seeds.
So, cool.
This is the clone that we selected 2 years ago of Granny Candy that Luke at Terp Mansion is in love with this one. He's doing a ton of this. This is just a seed of Granny Candy. And so you can see we're doing pretty well with like making homozygous lines or uniform lines.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah. What we're going for in this chamber is it being identical to our top selected clone. And there's clones all along the outside. These are all clones.
It looks identical.
It looks identical, but it only got an 8 because if you go in, there's more identical looking ones in there.
We were just saying we want to grow this when we get back.
We're growing those seeds.
Yes. We got them.
To actually advance a strain further down the line of zygosity or uniformity or purebred, you need to be doing seed to seed to seed to seed. That's the only way to do that, actually. So you can't do that if you just always breed the same clone again and again and again. This is at least a month after you would harvest these buds for flower. And that's so that we can get these beautiful things. And this one is close to being mature. So you can kind of see the difference and why we leave the seeds there so long to allow them to mature, because we want to get the most and the best seeds out of our breeding efforts as possible. So this is actually being pollinated right now. We're in the Blueberry Muffin chamber. I think we created Blueberry Muffin originally in around like 2012 and have just been working it ever since. This is Blueberry Muffin number 4, and the sex has been reversed so we can make feminized seed. This plant, which has the morphology of a female plant, but the sex organs of a male plant. The plants look rough because it's a rough process. Reversing the plant's sex is not what it's used to doing. These are anthers that you see here, and then inside those anthers, you can see it, is blueberry muffin pollen. You see that pollen poofing out there?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh wow, yeah. That's a hefty load.
It's difficult because we have to enclose them. We have to keep it like hermetically sealed.
The little rockets.
We call that the pollen rocket.
And we can officially say we've helped make a blueberry muffin. Legacy continued.
Amazing. Part of this project is advancing from like S3 and beyond. So Selfing is taking blueberry muffin number 4 pollen and putting it on blueberry muffin number 4 flowers. Like clone on clone. And it doesn't ever happen in nature because cannabis is one of 6% of the plant kingdom that does not fuck itself in nature. So excuse my French. Cannabis in nature never mates with itself because it's a dioecious plant, meaning that
the male is one plant and the female is another plant.
You can't even see through that thing.
All right, let's get out of here. We just went through the blueberry muffin breeding chamber. Matt took us through. Absolutely awesome to see how it's done.
Yeah, I've actually never seen the process before. It's very fascinating and
how they do it. And man, did it smell like blueberries in there
I know,
too.
I smell like a straight up blueberry.
It's so wild. After a long day in the field, pheno hunting and learning with everyone, we all headed back down to the farmhouse for a very special dinner.
We're here on the Salmon River. I'm with one of my best friends, Sammy Jinsall, and I've known Sammy for like 20 years. We've been working on dam removal together since the beginning of the idea of fixing up the Klamath River.
Both of us, our fields related so closely with salmon and protecting these places, it created like the perfect opportunity to form a nonprofit organization that we call Nature Rights Council. And through that, I'm the program director of the Ancestral Guard. My name is Samuel Jinsall III. I come from the village of Rekwa. I don't believe in a mythical existence. I believe from the banks of the Klamath River to the intricate dance of subatomic particles, the universe unfolds in patterns of interconnectedness that my ancestors have understood for generations. I call it Aya Lekwasha. We focus on dam removal, indigenous reciprocity building, and most importantly, food security and food sovereignty within our ancestral territory. And that kind of was a special linking point between Natty P and myself too, because that's something we both have in common, is our love for food and our love for gardening and plants. This collaboration between fishermen and farmers allows us to provide services to families in a wholesome package. So not only can we provide salmon for families, now we can also provide vegetables to go along with that. And kind of building healthy opportunities for our people is something that we find common ground on. And especially being a part of a river community, whether you're farming or whether you're fishing or just living, one thing that everybody comes accustomed to is that we have a responsibility to take care of this place so we can continue to live a good life and live this lifestyle that we all enjoy. And if we don't come together and try to create solutions, then we will always face the same problems again and again. Like never before, we're creating a collaboration between fishermen and farmers to produce for the people of the community.
People are always amazed that we, with the Undam the Klamath, accomplished the world's largest river restoration project, the world's largest dam removal project.
The largest dam removal project in the nation's history, which came as part of a national movement to return rivers to their natural flow. The Klamath River dam removal was completed, marking a major victory for the local tribes.
Hundreds of people that came together, but that amazing activism that came together to fix rivers here, we actually did take that message around the world. In 2014, we went to the Amazon.
We've had youth go all the way to Chile. We've had youth go to Canada, all across the United States, and help set up cultural exchanges to identify communities that are facing the same problems that we're facing. We've sacrificed so much to be standing along the banks of an undammed Klamath. And the fight has just begun, because now the focus is on restoration and making sure that our people can live out these healthy opportunities in a space that continues to provide.
You guys are now for the first time on an undammed Klamath River. I don't know if Nat told you guys, but yeah, just years and generations of fighting. And so now you guys will be able to eat fish from the undammed Klamath River, and it'll be the first time we've had the ability to cook fish for a drink on an undammed river too. So this is all just fresh, and it's just new and rolling together, growing in this river system together. So everything that you guys are doing and everything Nats have done for us in the past, it's all connected. You know, indigenous people in this area have always been a part of the weed scene since the very beginning, you know what I mean? It's like nowadays we're just getting into that space where we can openly say we have friends in the marijuana industry and it's open. But you guys are all part of that process in history now. Even though it may be legalized, it's still coming out a little bit. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate you guys coming and breaking those boundaries and, you know, setting the right example. And hopefully we can help in any way, and we'll dish you guys up some tasty fish.
I hope you like salmon too. Salmon. Eating salmon. I want to eat salmon with you.
Hearing Sammy and Nat's story about how they became friends through their community and worked together to strengthen their community was truly inspiring. Working together and making a difference is something we should all strive for. From the smallest acts of kindness, love, and lifelong friendships are made. And from our own little online community of friends and home growers, we wanted to give back to show our appreciation and thank you for the amazing hospitality and welcoming us all like family.
Hey, Sammy, John Luke, we got a surprise for you guys over here.
You may think of ACINFINITY as just another grow equipment company, but no other company we have ever seen gives back to the community as much as they do.
Wow. Oh my God, you guys.
On behalf of the team from ACINFINITY, we heard about what you guys are doing for your community and all across the nation. You guys are doing some phenomenal stuff for the natives and for anybody in need. We'd like to present you guys with some gear to help you guys along with your journey.
These kits are going to be great for growing microgreens or whatever you guys like. We got fans, lights that are controllable with plenty of power to completely flower out this thing. We have exhaust fans, filters for air purifying, or if you want to cut down on its smells or anything. You can control everything from the controller here. So you can not only dial in your lights, the power, the fans, the exhaust speed. It'll help you maintain your temperatures and humidity on its own. Everything you would need, and it can all be controlled through here. You guys can pull it up from your phone, you know, see, check on the stats, check on your humidity trends, and really kind of dial in your grows for whatever you guys might try and grow in here.
I feel like I just signed up for a mission to Mars.
Yeah. Right?
This thing is amazing.
It's pretty simple. If you guys need any help setting up, definitely reach out to us. We'll be happy to show you, but it works great.
And I really appreciate you guys coming in and kind of doing that crossover in these sectors. What's really not available is kind of the infrastructure for developing food systems that can hold off our people and create kind of that autonomy as we had before. One step at a time, one seed at a time is going to allow us to showcase to the rest of not only our tribe, but you know, people all around Northern California and all around other indigenous areas to kind of take that step forward into growing spaces indoors and seeing what those kind of opportunities bring. I'm also might have to run a round of Humboldt Seed Company Autoflower.
I'm a hugger. Right? Oh my gosh, can't wait to see what you grow and all this stuff, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you, dude. Thanks for everything, brother.
Appreciate what you do, man. Keep killing it, dude. Love you, bud.
Love you too, man. This is awesome. This is over here.
Right? Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah. Since we've been here, I've never felt so welcome. You have done nothing but give us real hope. Like, we've never seen hospitality like this in our lives.
Seriously.
And we're so happy to be able to give back to you.
We want to thank ACINFINITY, all the folks that came along on this journey. A lot of people think that cannabis is just about making money, but we have made it about giving back. Make it good, make it give back, make the world a better place, because I think that's what it's all about. Much appreciation to those of you out there that are making cannabis make the world better.
This adventure has been unbelievable, but the journey was far from over. So we packed up our bags and said goodbye to the Sandy Bar Ranch. Our next stop, Garberville. We were going to meet up with Jason from Ridgeline Farms.
And on our way, we got to take a little detour through the Avenue of Giants to check out the redwoods. We didn't have much time to explore, but don't worry, we'll get to check that out later. Cannabis cultivation in the Garberville area dates back to the 1970s and 1980s. During this period, small family-run farms started growing high-quality cannabis, and due to its remote location, it helped those early farmers avoid detection from law enforcement. Garberville itself became a key service area for the marijuana hub trade.
If there is such a place as ground zero for marijuana production in the U.S., it might just be Garberville, California.
During that time, the town's population swelled as cannabis farming provided income and jobs for the locals. It was a time when Garberville was flourishing. With the money made from the illicit cannabis market, that money was going right back into the community and local businesses, helping strengthen the local economy.
Man, the first time I went to Garberville was the mid-70s, but it was just starting to get ahead of steam then. In the fall time, there'd be trimmers that would hitchhike in. By the mid-80s, it was full on, you know. I mean, there's a lot of growers there. I watched it evolve over the years. But now it's just changed. Since it's legal, you don't need to hide anymore. So growing in the hills is unnecessary and it's too expensive. The price went from $5,000 to $6,000 a pound down to $300 to $400 a pound. So a lot of people have left the area. It's only the hardcore people that are really embedded here that have a community that are still here growing, and they're really good growers. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
When legends meet right here, dude, this is fucking dope. We're ready for this.
Ridgeline, are you ready, Hugh?
Oh man,
It's
I'm
gonna
so
be
pumped.
exciting, huh? We just met up with Jason from Ridgeline, had a little lunch, and we're about to head down to the farm. But where are we stopping first, Joe?
Huckleberry Farms.
Huckleberry Farms. Stop there, then Ridgeline. So it's gonna be dope, guys. Let's go.
So we are gonna go to one of the all-time legends of Southern Humboldt, Johnny Casale's farm, Huckleberry Hill Farms.
Johnny Casale, he is a legend, he's a mentor, he's a really good friend.
I always looked up to the guy. He was one of the biggest busts ever to come out of here in my childhood. Like, I'll never forget it. It was probably the biggest bust at that time. This is the legend. There he is, living legend.
When I was 24, I had 30 federal agents drive up my driveway, held a gun to my head, searched the place. Could have got no time if I would have cooperated. That's the goal of the federal government, is to get these guys to cooperate, and then we get the big fish. I grew up in a community that we all trusted each other with our lives, and had to really evaluate who I was as a person and how I was raised by my family, and it was the single most best decision I ever made in my life, and it wasn't easy by any means. Never been in any trouble before, and long story short, went to court for over 4 years and was sentenced to a mandatory minimum, which was my bracket was 10 years to life in prison, and got 10 years. It's my story, but it could have happened to any one of my friends at any time, and they made an example out of us. So I think it's those kind of stories and those kind of sacrifices that the world needs to know. And when I rolled up here after 3,000 days being gone, I had 50 people from this community excuse me, here for me when I got back, and they brought me things like silverware and plates, things that we all take for granted, right, that had gotten stolen or I had lost in the time I was gone. And then my really, really close friend, Trell, brought me the genetics that I used to grow with my mom that he kept in his garage for over 8 years, and he brought me this Paradise Punch. Since my mom passed away when I was jailed.
Here's a picture of my mom and I. Here's a picture when she came to visit me in jail.
Really wanted to honor her and breed everything that I have here growing on the farm to Paradise Punch. So everything is bred to a strain I used to grow with my mom when I was 10.
Amazing.
Yeah. This is my family home. This is where I grew up on, so I've been here for 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll see all the nameplates on the planter boxes, and those are all people in my life or Rose's life that really we wanted to honor, that made it possible for us to be here. And up here on the top, you'll see a place we call Farmer's Mountain, and it's logos and sentences from other farms in the Emerald Triangle. Always wanted to highlight them, because the one saying that still rings true today is it's never going to be about one of us, and it's always going to be about all of us. How do we dance all of us together?
That's so cool.
And it's not that easy, because it takes a lot of work. But I think we should walk, understand that most of everything is stopped. It looks like hell right now. This is the worst time to come to the farm.
You don't need acres and acres, right? You just do small scale.
Whitethorn rose, just absolutely full of color. Huckleberry killing it out here.
Look at this.
Wow, and just the story behind
sheer
it all.
size of these buds, and this is the smaller bud.
Just the beautiful perps. Look at the nugs just in the sun.
Smells are in here are incredible.
Whitethorn rose really was created from a strain I used to grow with my mom when I was 10, right? It's something different, something unique.
And I get it, dude. I get it, bro. It's ridiculous. No wonder the whole world's talking about this stuff right now, bro. It's not only beautiful, but the terps are there, Jorge. Get a whiff of these.
Oh my God, that's really fragrant. This is really deep, really resinous, and really thick thick, heavy bud.
Did a study with Columbia University, found out that Whitethorn rose in particular has 60 different terpenes and 444 different cannabinoids. The huge advantage of growing a Whitethorn rose that starts harvesting September 15th, I can avoid the weather. It cuts my growing season from 6 months into 4 months, and it really allows me to maybe have a life.
Right. And it washes great, unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a 6 to 7% to wash and then an 80% to rosin return, and it's just something different and unique. It's really cool, especially with Jason's Lantz and the Whitethorn rose and some of these new cultivars that we've bred is really the pathway forward for a small farmer at this point. I truly believe if you're not highlighting legacy genetics and something different than the rest of the world has, I think most of us are doomed.
It's amazing with this new modern market how the competitiveness in this small community has kind of gone away, and we're kind of working together. We're learning the collaboration is key, and doing things together is key.
If we're not careful, if Jason's not out there yelling and telling stories about his neighbors and his friends and his community, the industry is going to believe what the money gets to tell them, right?
Yeah.
Right? So we can't compete with Glasshouse, but Whitethorn Rose sure can, or Lantz sure can.
Heck yeah.
And it's been the savior for our farm, and with that now, we did a cross together, right? Lantz crossed with Whitethorn Rose and just did a test wash, and it was 6.4% to wash.
Damn,
and
dude.
just like it's going to be at the Hall of Flowers. So
we're going there, man.
You're good. I'm taking that Whitethorn rose bud that you see right there. I'm putting it down. I'm driving at 4 in the morning tomorrow morning, bringing it to My Green Network and iPoppy so that you guys can walk around and smell it.
Whitethorn rose was just something like I've never smelled or seen before, and he told us the whole story behind it, and it really has some great meaning, and it's definitely a special strain. He keeps it close to the vest. It's part of the reason why he can sustain his farm, because he's found something unique that no one else has, and I think that's really special. I think that's awesome.
If you come to Southern Humboldt and you don't meet Johnny, then you're missing out, because when you saw his farm, you definitely could tell he thought about it differently, right? He grew way differently than other people. It was way more about the plant than it was about the money.
It's absolutely awesome here. Beautiful spot, amazing story, and just award-winning cannabis. We heard he's gonna bring some flowers down to Hall of Flowers this weekend, so we're gonna be there.
Can't wait to try those.
It's gonna be wild, but we just got done with the tour here. We're gonna go check out Ridgeline, and that's what's coming up next.
Yeah, I'm coming from the bottom, but I'm rising to the top. Had to hustle every day, I ain't never gonna stop. From the shadows to the spotlight, I'm shining like a star. Got the power in my veins, you can feel it from afar. Power, I'm taking over now. Got my homies on the block, I ain't never backing down. Power, you can see it in my eyes. I'm the king of this jungle, yeah, you can feel the vibes.
We just pulled up to Ridgeline, the Mixed Light Farm, so we're gonna check it out, see how they do sun-grown with lighting.
Yeah, it looks like Jason's got a lot of really cool stuff going on right now. He's got some small batches and some supplemental lighting.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see what he's got going on.
Let's take a look.
This is the blueberry caviar. This is the one for Woody Harrelson.
I think this one's special. Wow, those are tight buds. This weed right here looks better than 95% of the indoor. That's all mixed light, dude. Taste is great. Terpenes make you sneeze. It's fucking great. Blueberry caviar would be fired.
Something like that. It's the best of the best.
So I crossed the Lantz crossed into the Great Gas.
Okay. Woody Harrelson strain. Look at this. Blueberry caviar.
What's that?
Probably the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen.
And this is,
When I got my first home when I was 20, I had my 2 little lights and trying to block the smell from outside. It was super ghetto little room. Eventually it went from a 2-lighter to a 4-lighter. So yeah, home grow for sure. I'd rather do less and make it way more beautiful and be proud of what I'm creating, and it means everything to me, Like if I don't like it, it will not go out on the shelves. I think it's one of the saddest things is these days it feels like it's really, quantity over quality.
This is my baby. This is gonna be the next winner of all winners. And this is the Blackberry caviar right here. If you smell it, you'll smell just grapes. What's amazing about this strain is it actually smokes like it smells. I wish I could have a bud right now to give you guys. And this was, when I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, if this smokes, this is the one. This is the one. you guys to smell this. This is the one that Eric's gonna have to take a shot of.
The mixed light Blackberry Caviar. Blackberry Caviar is a brand new one, so I was really excited to see that.
Look at these guys, they got the babies! So good, bro. We're gonna take this cut here. This is the Blackberry Caviar. This is probably gonna be a winner in the upcoming Emerald Cup, and Eric Nugshot's gonna take a video photo of this, stack it. You're gonna see how beautiful this girl is.
So Jason turned the lights on just for us to take a little peek at this mix light. And why do you say best of both worlds? Because you're just
getting just hold the terps. I don't know, like I keep saying, there's something about the terps come out of this on a whole nother level.
Right.
It's like, and I feel that it's not getting baked by the sun because we have such thick plastic maybe.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting the extra lights when, you know, it's a cloudy day out or something like that, so you always have the right amount of light also.
Yeah.
So it's just keeping them perfect. It's kind of cool. You're actually going to get to see it in this form, and then you're going to see it at my house in the sun-grown form.
These are probably the most beautiful flowers.
Oh, I love hearing that. Why I bought this farm with my partner there was so I could have some mixed light. I've been growing sun-grown my whole life, but there's something about the terps that come out here. I fucking tried. I cannot get the same terps out of sun-grown.
Ridgeline is amazing. The mixed light is by far the most impressive stuff that we've seen so far. Just looking at all the strains, the Lantz.
Blueberry Caviar.
Blueberry Caviar, just amazing. By far the best flowers. Jason's doing it right. He's definitely onto something here with the mixed.
After checking out Jason's amazing mixed light setup, we were now headed back to his house to check out his sun-grown.
I love the plant. I know what the plant has done for this community, for me, my family. I mean, I owe it everything. I owe the plant everything. One of my main things that I want out of this was to be able to help other people. By doing that, you know, let's say come up with a strain like Lantz, you know, and being able to get other friends, they could grow it and represents Humboldt, represents Southern Humboldt, represents this community. So all of that together is just, you know, that has always been my dream, is if I could keep helping this community that needs us, man. It's like, it's on our shoulders. It's on Johnny's shoulders. It's an honor, but at the same time, it's, you know, it's serious. Like, they need us.
To get people to recognize how important it is, the Emerald Triangle. They've made the greatest pot 40 years during the worst, you know,
and they've proven a concept about community. They built a community up there. They built their schools, they built their restaurants, they built their daycare centers, they built their grocery stores, they built everything off the community, which is all based on this. It's falling apart now because this is not valuable anymore from them. So you go in and say, well, if you're not smoking Blueberry Caviar and if this shit's not from up here by these guys, you ain't got it, bro.
I know I might be tired, but I've been blessed with this opportunity, and with that, I'm gonna do my best to keep this place on the map.
Just pulled up to Ridgeline, the main outdoor. Gorgeous. Look at this view off the patio, though. This is the smoke spot. Excited to see the outdoors here.
This is
going
incredible.
On. Jason's doing it right out here.
And we're gonna go leave some weed, and then you gotta smoke a lot of weed. Yes.
Ride storm.
She can smell it already. Unbelievable.
Whitethorn Road times Lantz cross.
No shit, dude.
Yeah, smell it.
How did she come out even more purple, dude?
Well, it's the one I picked. Oh, unreal.
Yeah. Dude, grapefruit, huh? Like fucking
it's different. It's a little
sweet,
different.
eh?
Oh my god, so sweet. It's like,
yeah.
Look at the
color
on
is
this,
just so
dude.
intense.
It's the fucking craziest outdoor weed I've ever seen in my life. What's the secret sauce, man, to winning an Emerald Cup? Because you have so many on your damn plate, dude. What's the secret sauce to bring home cup-winning cannabis?
And if you want to hear Jason's answer, you're going to have to go watch Joe's video on Basement Grow Show on YouTube. That's one of the beautiful things about this trip is we all have different perspective and different stories. So make sure to give Joe's video a watch. I'm sure if you enjoy ours, you'll love his.
It smells exactly like Skittles, like not even fucking kidding. Oh
Is she an
my
awkward
God!
grower, like
Suck
the
my
shrub-
and serve me a milkshake.
This is the Blackberry Caviar in the early form, Sungrown, right here. What you guys looked at, Sungrown, how different it is.
So we just seen the same one, hey, at the mix. And look at the difference now on the outdoor, dude.
You know what's funny is you would look at it and say it's different, but it's so close to the same too, man. To get this quality outdoors, it's outrageous, bud.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Only grow enough to where you can actually look at every plant. You saw at my farm, it's 9,600 square feet. It's big to some. To me, it's perfectly manageable. It's not that big. I could do it with me and my buddy. Having a farm this size that I could manage by myself with one other guy, we're here every day looking at it, you know, giving each plant love. And now finding my own strains, you know, crossing strains, looking for the right ones. Doing all this with my dad, you know, and it's, he's definitely taught me a lot, especially with all the breeding and everything. And he's proud of it, you know, and you know, I'm still to this day doing crosses with my dad. Pretty amazing. And no, I never thought I'd be winning awards. I never thought I'd be in Forbes. You know what I mean? All these high times. I mean, high times was something we all just looked at, you know, as kids and tripped out. And he's like, the throbber!
Throbber!
So there is a little on this side, a little mix of the runts, but like the middle is all the throbber. So it's, go look in there.
But everything is just bangers though. Like there's no flower that I'm like,
all the
meh.
down part.
Oh man, look at these buds. I can't believe it. Oh.
Wow.
Wow, that's all I could say.
The property here at Jason's farm is beyond, like I've said incredible so many times, but like literally it's the only word that can come to my mouth. But also not only the flowers, not only the hospitality.
Solventless from Jason. Ridgeline Rose. We're popping out the rigs.
Not only the views, but
passion.
the community here.
Yeah.
And the passion for the plant and what it has brought their community, it's amazing.
It's really interesting to see how every farm we've been to is so tightly knit with the community around here and how they all really depend on each other to help self-sustain, and how it's really, really hard for a lot of them to keep growing at a profit and be sustainable. And I think Jason's a perfect example of somebody doing it right, not only with the outdoor garden that we've seen here, which is absolutely incredible, and then what they're doing with the mixed light, which I think was
wild,
super amazing to have
those
that.
Flowers.
Yeah, wow, they're impressive all around. But we're wrapping up our thing here.
Ridgeline!
The sun's going down on the ridgeline. We got some pizzas back at the house.
We're gonna go catch a sweet sunset from Ridgeline Farms.
Yeah.
We said our goodbyes to Johnny and Jason in Garberville, but this journey was far from over. Our next stop, Mendocino County, home of the inspiring legends who mix their dope farming with their dope music.
Mendocino County is like no other place. We are unique. You know, to drive through town, roll your window down, you can smell pot everywhere, and you find as you drive through town. That would just be
This Mendo dope, and we rollin' too deep. Use my tongue to pick pieces of shrooms from my teeth. Home of the red tail, drink it from the tap. Pack of aromatics and a $40 sack.
Woo! Mendo dope boys, we're doing it!
Bleezy, Brian, Oldie, Daniel. Yep, born and raised, Mendocino. Shot in 6, and we ended up planting a bag seed in our mom's backyard in one of her flower pots she had on like hanging from the top like awning thing. And the plant ended up growing. It's a really nice little mini-sized plant. Found the plant and we talked her into keeping it, and it was like, I don't know, a couple ounces probably, that little plant. 2-3 ounce plant. So that was our first one.
Neil, nice to meet you.
What's up, man?
Neil.
Neil, nice to meet you.
Heaven.
Nice to meet you.
Oh,
man.
Glad to
What's
meet
up,
you.
OG?
All right,
How you doing? How you doing?
Really good.
Nice.
Really
Happy
good.
to have you out here.
Yeah, thanks.
This
It's
is
nice
epic.
to be here.
It's a
nice
beautiful
to be here.
spot. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, right? So here we are at the Mendo Dope Boys here today.
Love it.
We know
Good
you guys
job.
have a
Good
course
job.
going on tomorrow, right?
Yes, we do.
So what are some of the things that we're going to be able to dive through today and learn and get a little sneak peek of what's going on?
Well, like a lot of stuff we do is really organic, no-till style. So we do like a lot of just like very basic organic style where we're not doing any digging or any kind of crazy We're not doing pots, we're not doing anything. It's all on the ground, lasagna layers, just building up from the ground up. We are real natural. We like to say we like to team up with nature. We do like live in soil, organic, no-till. We like to build our soils. We don't like to disturb soil is what we like to say too, you know, like we're trying to help sequester carbon out here through these plants that we're using, through our cover crops that is helping aerate our soil, that's feeding our soil. We're just really natural style. We want to try to make it back to like redwood forest style, where things are happening just in a loop of just nature is doing most of it. And we're here to guide it along and find these certain things to do, but we like to just keep it really chill style and really natural.
A very special year to be here too, because we know it was a big one for you boys at the Emerald Cup.
Yes,
right?
It was.
Congratulations. Yeah, so we're going to check out some of the Emerald Cup winners and kind of get some tips on what it takes to win an Emerald Cup, because we know you boys had a really good one this year.
We got first place, personal Sungrown. We got the overall best in show with the same Headies flower. And we got third place for the personal solventless entry with Pezbro.
And then the high terps for the gas category with that same flower.
Yeah.
Too.
Congratulations. The main attraction is Pheno Hunting with Mendo Dope Boys. We got a bunch of their genetics here. Some Humboldt SC company genetics here.
That's like granny candy, huh? Holy shit.
More sticky resin on them. Very terpy. Super terpy.
Oh yeah.
Some of these spots right here are just like really glistening nice. Like
it's got that soft fuzzy style trichome too. That's like
like slick. Is
that
what makes it? Some are like slick.
Some
like
of the
that.
fuzziest ones are slicker most of the time too.
Really?
Yeah, this
It's like so terpene rich. It's just like
so much oil. It's just like
yeah.
The wet fingertip on it.
This one's pretty cool. Pretty cool bud structure. If I just use the nose technique he does, I don't get the full smell. I need to like really play with it. So then I'll like switch fingers. I'll do this finger on a strain, then I'll do this one. I'll go to this finger so I can keep it new. When I run out of fingers, I'll use the back of my hand sometimes and just graze. I like these though. The granny candy's been looking really dope. It's
Good producers.
Yeah, good producers. They get chunky too, even down to the bottoms on these ones.
Yeah.
Like most of them have
look at
quite
that.
like solid buds for the bottoms. Like,
and pretty resistant, huh? Like what, if anything, what do you guys deal with as far as like pests or problems? Is it?
There's everything, but this year's everything's been under control. Right now, in general, if I look here, there's the thrips. There's That's the main thing right now. For some reason, thrips normally aren't up here, but this year we had some.
And it's like a lot, all the time we're battling different bugs every year, from russet mites or spiders or aphids. Like it seems like every year there's some kind of different infestation. It rolls to the next. Like now it's this bug's turn. Now it's this bug's.
What kind of treatments do you guys use? Just like organic stuff, or?
I mean, mainly like our go-to spray that we do all the time is plant therapy. Like when we're in early stages, especially for like russet mites, like sulfur is like one that we spray at an early stage. That really is like the one thing that will totally wipe out russets instantly.
Okay.
Gone.
But looking good, eh? Like nothing major on anything.
What are some of the ones that impressed you here, Joe?
Realistically, it's hard to pick so far.
So
we haven't gone through the whole lineup.
We got so many.
What I do like is two brothers having fun, crafting some of the best cannabis in the Emerald Triangle, and it's right here under my nose, and my fingers are sticky, my nose is sticky, but my heart is so full, man, so full.
Not only have they proved themselves in the garden, winning multiple Emerald Cups this year, their passion flows through their music as well.
I'm really loving how you mix your arts. That's something super unique to you guys.
Hell yeah, thank you.
And one of the reasons why we actually were very excited to come out here. It's just as good as the flower. So.
You know, when you have flower that's good, it inspires you to make good art on the other side. It's this full circle that we do. You know, we're out in the garden working, coming up with ideas. We bring it to the studio and start recording things, smoking on the flowers from the garden. It's just like intertwined everything from the beginning of music and farming. When we started growing too, we started doing music at the same time. During the whole time the season's going, we're in the studio a lot, just like making song after song. It's been like trimming and making music, and in the trim room thinking about songs, and going to the studio making music, and we were always like torn between if we should do garden time or do studio time, and then we started to bring the studio out in the garden.
This is why we grow, and this is why we grow.
First off, I don't support corporations. I'm a local Mendo farmer growing my personal medication.
It all feeds each other, yeah. As the more we grow and the more, we get to enjoy different flavors, and it inspires different things in our minds and just gets real creative out here for sure. It's in our zone, this is it's so perfect for us because we love growing, we love music, so to bring our studio into the garden was so dope, and it's just okay, this is where it's at right here. Strictly cannabis culture music. Catered towards the ganja farming community, the patients, the plant, the people that are about this plant, this culture that we live in.
So quick to have us pill popping. It's a money scheme. They don't want us using green. They don't get no cut off someone selling dank to you and me. I know I'm brutally honest, but I keep it real, saying chemicals kill and cannabis heals. That's why we grow.
And this is why we grow. Why we grow. Why we grow. Why we grow. Singing out on why we grow. Why we grow. This is why.
After a morning of pheno hunting, it was time for lunch. Cody, part owner of the farm, and there every step of the way throughout its growth, is also the owner of the Mendo local Tastebudz restaurant. He and his team were there cooking up an amazing vegan spread.
All vegan, including the chicken?
All vegan, brother.
Wow.
Everything's all vegan.
Oh, your beauty, brother. Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Delicious. Thank you
Good
so
weed,
much.
good food.
Exactly. That's unreal.
Wow.
Got bread toasted for the jackfruit sandwiches.
There's enough toasted.
Jackfruit sandwich?
Yes, sir.
Here, there's some bread, guys. We'll keep it coming.
What are these dudes?
Dumplings, brother.
Dumplings.
It's just like mama's home cooking. It's just good food.
The food was delicious and healthy, just what we needed to fuel up and hit the field to check out the 2024 Emerald Cup winning strain.
So here, boys, we have the infamous, what we've been seeing on social media nonstop and really curious about. This is all the Headies here?
Yes, this is.
Can you give us a little history on the Headies, how this came to be? Because this was the Emerald Cup.
And number one in the personal homegrown category, we've been very happy to announce is Mendo Dope.
Hey, this means so much to us right now. We've been coming to the Emerald Cup for a long time. To finally get a first place flower, it means a lot to us. We want to say rest in peace to our brother Nick Fox. That's where we got this strain from.
A few years ago, one of our good friends of ours passed away. He had a garden growing at his house. His parents wanted us to come check out the garden and see how it was doing, see when they would be ready to harvest. Into one of the hoops that he had, he was working on some different breeding projects. Unknown to us, we didn't know what was going on. One of the plants Brian found actually, in particular, he found it out in there and was like, man, this is really special looking. Let's keep an eye on it. So about a week or maybe two goes by and they call us back and they say that the garden got raided. Someone came in and pretty much just took most of the whole garden. And then we were looking through the plants, and in that greenhouse, that special plant that Brian saw, it was snipped down to the stem where there was only 2 branches with buds left on it. And we're like, man, this thing is so special, looked so good. We're like, let's take this branch, cut it, and see if we can get it to root and come back to life. And we brought it back to life, and we grew it inside our indoor room for another test, and it just blew us away. We're like, holy crap, this is so special. Such a crazy gas strain. Over the years, we've always been hunting out gas strains, and with our friend who passed away, we loved Kush strains. We loved finding really tasty, exquisite, good weed, and that's where the name Headies even came from. When he would have good weed, he'd always be like, yo, I got some Headies, guys. Let's come over and let's session, let's try this out. So that's where the name evolved from.
And then the Emerald Cup win just happened, and then we're on the High Times cover with the strain too, so it's like the strain is getting good promotion right at this crazy weird time, and as we've already loved it and people are starting to get to know it and they're loving it too. It's so cool.
He's looking down, man, for sure. He's looking down, just loving you guys growing his cannabis.
So even without the coupling, this strain has already meant so much to us, but now with that carrying behind it, I know it's such a proud moment, and to carry his legacy on with us, to keep his memory around.
And his dad and his sister are so stoked too. They're so blown away after the cup.
Well, respect, boys, for keeping that legend alive.
For
sure. The Headies is uplifting in more ways than one.
Yes, it is.
For sure.
Good vibe when you smoke it. It's really stony, but also at the same time super creative too. and it just grows really naturally by itself. Doesn't need to be topped. It just does its wide thing. Like we top plants every plant. This is one plant we don't top.
No doubt. These aren't topped at all.
Yeah,
no way.
You don't just breed for numbers, right? Because it's like, do you guys really believe in that much? Like, is it the numbers?
No, not potency-wise.
It's
Not
really like the feel, or how do you guys feel?
What is this one coming at?
This is 2930 still.
2930.
Yeah. It's the blend of everything. It's the terpenes, the THC, CBD, CBGs, everything intertwined that makes the difference in something that makes it a really good overall flower.
It's all gotta come together.
It's all, yeah, for sure. It's our mission. We have to keep the culture alive, no matter how these big corporations and people come in and try to take out farms all over the place, and the game's making it harder for farmers to survive and stay in it. It's like, it makes it like really, it's our responsibility to try to motivate people and inspire them through our music to like keep on going at it, to stand your ground. This is why we grow, you know, like this is what we do this for.
So as a little token of gratitude for letting us come out here, check out some of your guys' amazing work, showing us a little slice of the Emerald Triangle. We wanted to give you guys a few little gifts. Again, nothing's gonna beat this experience, but a patch for you legends. We definitely most certainly consider you guys legends here in the Triangle.
Very cool.
What you guys are doing is amazing. The content, just everything from the plants to the creativity, it's really inspirational for us to see. So thank you guys for letting us come by.
Thank you, my brother. That's badass.
We also wanted to present you a map of our travels. The Mendo boys definitely included on that.
Definitely earned that spot on the map.
That is legit. Thank y'all so much.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Damn.
So what these are here, guys, are traditional 3-hole hash pipes.
Oh, yeah, you got
We
that.
took an emerald triangle, and we took the emerald and we broke it into pieces, and each legend has a piece of that emerald to keep with them. So I hope you guys enjoy that.
Wow.
That's from all of us here at ACINFINITY, and we just want to thank you so much for having us at your farm and allowing us to see where music and buds come together, and the vibe here is contagious, man. And
Awesome.
You guys are part of the family now, and we're just so grateful to have met you guys and be able to see this beautiful flower. So
thank you, my
thank
man.
you so much.
Mendo Dope Boys! The Pheno Hunter, Humboldt SC Company, Mendo Dope. Caca!
In the house.
I am the Pheno Hunter, up in the ganja zone. Find a keeper, then I find it, then I cut a clone. I'm looking for some resin, trying to see some weight. It's smelling good, but I wonder, will it keep the taste? OD, I keep it laced, crossing and mixing reefer. Find a new strain every year, now I'm a growing teacher. Tales of a doper speaker, 707 reppin'. Hold up, I'm gonna start flipping this shit off the head, and I'm chilling with my homies. Yeah, my boy Cody, he feeds us so much bomb food, we feeling stony. I got my homie Nat, yeah, we in the place. It's Humboldt, yeah, we always so laced. I got that sticky dank, I got that high grade. You know me off the 101 highway. It's 707 until the very end. I'm representing with all my weed nerd friends. Yeah. Fire it up, yeah.
So I'm gonna stick to breeding. This guy can keep rapping.
After the first 3 farms, it was time for a little R&R. We were headed to the Hall of Flowers to see what it's all about.
Just arrived at Hall of Flowers. You can already tell the party started.
This looks lit. We're gonna check it out, see what it's all about, and see what Cali has to offer. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hall of Flowers, you boys ready?
Hell yeah.
All right, buddy, we're here.
Yeah, let's go.
The Hall of Flowers was a true celebration of cannabis culture, an absolutely amazing experience. From the food, and the vibes, the music, art, and of course, the flowers. It had everything a stoner's heart could desire.
Oh shit! Rosin down!
Booths everywhere spoke to the inner pothead in all of us.
Bro, I had to see that sucker right here, bro. Look at that.
But if you want the full scoop, you have to check out Mr. Q's video on his YouTube channel, Q's Garden.
Meet here at 420. Here's exactly where you can find me. See you soon.
Trust me, it's worth it. But the sesh didn't stop there. We couldn't visit Northern California without spending some time in the legendary Redwoods.
We are in the middle of the Redwoods, you guys. These trees, this scenery is unbelievable.
Yeah. Jason from Ridgeline took us down. I know a spot.
Secret spots of the locals. I love it.
Yeah, beautiful. Wow. This place is pretty amazing though. I've never been in the Redwoods, only seen it in the books, but really, wow, just nothing does it justice. The trees here are just massive.
We chilled and soaked up the epic vibes where the forest felt as magical and surreal as the whole adventure has been so far. Smoking trees among the trees.
Next up, we were headed to Penn Valley, California to check out Wildleaf Farms. While not technically in the Emerald Triangle, this area is up and coming in the cannabis market in California, in a region some refer to as the Golden Triangle. Just pulled up to Wildleaf, guys.
The Wildleaf Farms, you guys, I'm really excited about this farm because it seems like their practices here are a little more traditional. Yeah. So I'm really excited to see what they got. And I hear they have some monster plants.
Yeah.
Farming cows and cattle and hay and orchards and everything else like that. That goes about 3 or 4 generations deep here. Our dad's dad was doing it back in the day. Then it slowly trickled downhill and here we are today. And he's the one that owned a lot of this land out here back in the day and then slowly got sold off because it wasn't proper cattle grazing land. You know what I mean? Too hilly, too much of a rocky mountain slope. But we're fortunate enough that in 2020 a piece came up for sale and we were able to pick it back up. And it was actually the property that our grandpa learned to shear sheep on when he was young, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of made a full circle.
Jacob and Colby first showed us the upper garden, which had large raised bed planter boxes and plants spaced far apart. That's so the plants can grow extra huge and the shadows won't cast on the other plant to ensure maximum growth and maximum yields.
It's a hot day out here looking at these girls, but the nice thing about this farm is you don't need trees, man. They're right here, sit down, pop a squat in the shade. Might be the only farm that we come to where you can get a shade break from the cannabis plants themselves. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's actually
confirmed, eh? Confirmed.
I need it.
Ready to harvest.
It's a warm one out here.
It's a
you guys
full
got
shade.
the sun like nobody's business.
Slowly developed into what you see now. Started with running on a prescription and having his script, my script.
Growing for a lot of the other farmers in Nevada County, a lot of the older guys that couldn't do the work anymore. We would show up and do the labor, you know, making side money to pay for our garden at the time because it didn't have much. And so we were just like now, just working to work more.
That's it. A good time. Yep, we developed a passion for it, and it's one of those things that we got to learn from the older guys in the group. So now we've got to see it change and develop, and that's ultimately why we do the big plants, the everything in the boxes, because that's how we were taught.
Been really impressive. One of the largest farms I think we've seen, and definitely probably the biggest plants.
Not only the biggest plants, but the sense of family and community here is kind of amazing. I'm pretty excited to see all these phenos that they've been checking out. I'm assuming they're also monster plants, so of course we're looking forward to that.
Get the boys to convince you to allow them to grow weed down here.
They convinced me, you know, to do it. I didn't convince them. I just hope they can sell it for a profit. That's my hope.
Yeah.
So they can stay in business. This used to be a hay field back here.
Now it's just a dope field.
Obviously the grandparents, they definitely they didn't like it at all.
The way things changed so much, they weren't real privy to it. It went from hiding it and from only a couple people doing it and hush hush to price is dropping, it's time to grow more. And then once they seen what we're growing, they're like, it makes them uncomfortable at the amount that we had to grow.
They don't like the smell, that's the skunk smell to them, you know, you smell like a skunk.
They weren't supporting it, but they weren't naysaying it, so to speak.
We had grown for 7 years or so before that first time they had ever seen a marijuana plant.
Yeah. So that's who we were raised as, our Christian grandparents on our mom's side, going to church every Sunday, and they were not for it, but our dad's side was a little bit on the opposite side of the fence, so that's where we kind of picked up some of the skills from.
Hot out today. Everything here has been so impressive, guys. Huge monster plants. Everything's great. We're hoping you could take us to your favorite strain here in this section.
Your favorite one that you're most excited about? The one that like
most excited about?
Yeah, well, let's take a journey. You know which row we're on.
let's check this baby out.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
Moonfog?
Yeah, moonfog. Moonfog here is what these are, all the way down.
Okay, who breeds these ones?
This is Humboldt SC company.
Okay,
So some trial.
Up with these ones this year.
Yeah.
Some special ones here that we're checking out. So as you can walk down, you'll see everyone is a little bit different variation. That's because these are still fresh in the process. We're finding which one is stable, and then he comes out and takes all his notes. We tell him what we think, and it's a pretty interesting process. Something like this is a really nice one, in my opinion.
Yeah, this one is sticking out to me.
You know,
is this one, you're excited about this one?
This is one of them.
This is one of them here.
We went through and looked at some of the best like 2 weeks ago, and then we came back through a week later, and your notes were useless.
Everything changed so much.
Completely different. The ones
and it's between, you know, they stay the same, but they get a lot stronger and a lot more intense.
Yeah.
So sometimes if it had a nice soft undertone, it's now a loud one.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, you know, your nose might not like that so much, so you got to pick and choose which one suits your smoke.
What's the one thing that pops out to you the most that's like, wow, I know that one, I need to take my time on that one?
Almost just catch your eye as you're walking by or you're working on the plants, and all of a sudden you'll hit one and you're just like, wait a second, like what's that? Like, what are you doing over there? And
is it usually the flower look, or is it usually the smell?
Sometimes it's even just the plant structure. Like when they're in veg, some plants will be more spindly, or they'll have a bunch of shoots they just don't grow like you want them to, and other plants are just hardy. Like these ones, for example, they're nice. There's tops all over the place. It's not super tall. It's a nice structure.
Great for farmers' perspective. Nice, beautiful tops, not super leafy. It's got purple all the way through there.
Yeah.
And it's, how hot is it out here? 110, you know?
Yeah, it's hot out.
Squeeze and smell this one and give her a little love, and then bounce over here to this one, and you'll see where they're close to the same look, you know, but a different smell.
Very different.
And that's why we're out here looking to see what we have.
Oh, she gassy.
It's more so different than that one. That one's more subtle, this one's more loud.
98% of the time it's great and it's awesome, and we can grunt and make weird noises, and the other guy knows exactly what he's talking about. Or other times, you know, we look at each other like, just last week we had one of those days where it wasn't happening. We're yelling at each other, and you know, then a couple hours goes by, we get stoned, and everything's good and back to work. Figure it out why we were fighting and what's going on.
Pretty smooth most of the time, but when that 2% hits, we get a little rowdy, but we're brothers, so at the end of the day, he's not going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere. We've invested everything we have back into the farm, so it doesn't matter if we don't want to look at each other right now. That's our investment sitting there, so regardless, we have to go take care of the crops, we got to take care of the land, we got to make sure that shit's still getting done.
Definitely hot out here by midday.
It's a hot one out here.
Catch some shade in these monster trees.
It's the way to do. You can catch some shade out here somewhere.
Luckily, Wildleaf and the Real Ridge Boys had some tents set up so we could get some shade, get hydrated, and get medicated.
Last week we came out and identified which plants we thought were kind of our personal pheno hunt winners, and we took some clippings off of it, and now we're gonna check them out. So we're gonna actually be able to, fresh press this and then get that smoke and then try out the smoke. Kind of more of just like a nostalgia, just kind of cool to be able to be standing right beside the living plants and be able to experience and consume them right here in the field, which is a really rare thing. Nobody else gets to do this kind of stuff. So this is a great little R&D exercise.
Get up.
There you go.
Pro style.
Here
we go, Jorge.
Yeah!
Oh. Jorge all day.
Whoa. Perfect.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good, yeah.
With the sun at its peak, we headed out to the local swim spot to cool off and an amazing lunch setup to end the day. With this amazing journey coming to an end, we had one last farm to visit, and that's Ben's farm, the other half of the Humboldt Seed Company. He invited us out for a very special dinner at his house the night before the last tour.
I'm just blown away with this place.
This is sick, dude. We just arrived here at Ben's farm. Look at this beautiful setup, bro. We got some of the merch. There's a dab bar up there. And then Joe just pointed out that there's disc golf, so I think we're gonna have to get some intro.
They got disc golf, man. It's been a week since I played disc golf. They got disc golf. Let's go. Dabs, disc golf, food, doobies, great people. Non-stop, man, here. Non-stop. Awesome, man. Where are we going to work?
We're going to Pancake Flat.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Heck yeah, it's the Pancake Flat.
We're gonna harvest this plant specifically just for terpenes. All we care about is how these plants smell. We're not necessarily super concerned about how the buds look. I'm gonna cut some branches, I'm gonna throw them in this tote, and you guys just strip them off.
Okay.
I'll put on a pair of gloves.
This is sick, dude. This is life goals right here.
Yeah, so blueberry pancakes, perfect. She's like a little bit early, and that's what you want.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. This is so good, dude.
I'm in.
You get better
Give that a whiff.
harvested a little earlier?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Better hash, better terps.
Yeah.
NorCal Terp Harvest 2024.
Like, look at that. That's a gorgeous flower too.
Look at the color, the fade. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I know, right?
I love when they fade to that purple.
So we're actually gonna use it for dinner. So we're taking the aromatic hydrocarbons, the smell from this plant. We're gonna steam it just with water. We're gonna recapture just the aromas. Wow. And then we're gonna infuse that into a dessert. So there won't be any THC in it, there won't be any CBD in it, but you will experience the plant and kind of the vibration of the plant. And you get kind of just a little giggly and it lasts like 5 minutes and then it goes away.
Perfect.
It's kind of like aromatherapy.
Blueberry terps, whipped
I will
cream,
have one eventually, but
vanilla
get all
ice
those.
cream, smoked cinnamon apples. Enjoy.
Thank you.
We'll be back for more.
Oh my god, dude. These are the blueberry pancake terps that we just seen extracted.
Really? She gave it to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's hard to put
Really
down,
good.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely delicious. And the whipped cream. You can really taste the terps, they're there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's delicious.
After an amazing dinner and evening, we got ready for the next day for the farm tour.
So we're in Grass Valley, California. We're a little bit removed from the Emerald Triangle, like the Mendocino, Trinity County, Humboldt County area. They call it the Mini Triangle or they call it the Emerald Dot. We call this the Humboldt Seed Company Satellite Farm because our anchor farm up in Soames Bar area in Humboldt, that's where it all started. Here we focus more on the sativa end of the spectrum. We also do a lot of autoflowers, and we've been doing a lot of autoflower conversions down here. So we're actually taking a photoperiodic plant and then through normal breeding practices, you make an initial cross and then you make an F1 of that initial cross, then it explodes. You get kind of Pandora's box effect where you get 30% autos, 30% quick plants, and 30% photos. Through a genomics assay, you can identify which plants are going to have that autoflower trait, focus on those ones, throw away the other 60%, self those, pheno hunt through those selfed plants of which one is the best autoflower, the most like their photoperiodic parent. And then from there, it's just, you know, normal breeding once you have that autoflower trait really locked in.
That's something that I've super been interested in, figuring like how you pheno hunt autos, because they're not light sensitive, so it's really interesting. I'm really excited to see how you guys do that.
You're right, because you can't keep them in veg. Exactly. It's like a one-way. It's like lighting a fuse. I say we should go cruise around. So come on.
You guys do all your breeding and genetics outdoors then? For when you guys for seed development and stuff like that?
Yeah, we do all of the initial crosses outdoors. We do breeding indoors as well. We do more of like kind of like micro breeding. So like selfing, or if it's like kind of a finicky strain or something that is like super specific, we'll do that in indoor environments over the winter. Generally, it keeps kind of keeps everybody going, and we get one more genetic step down the majority of the production happens in outdoor environments, in the ground, where kind of Mother Nature intended.
Talking to some of the guys at the other farms, they were saying that seeds that they grew from you guys that do the outdoor breeding like that, they just seem hardier and more resilient compared to some strains that they've tried from seeds that were bred indoors only. You think the environment probably plays a lot of factor in how those seeds develop and their resiliency later down?
There's a concept, and for a long time it was really controversial. It's called epigenetics and epigenetic drift or epigenetic influence. The plant, when it's subjected to different environments, will turn on and off different pathways within its genetics. So it'll migrate one way or another depending on its environment. So if it's a really hot, dry year, the seeds from that plant the next year will be resistant to hot and dry. If it's a really wet year and there's a lot of fungal influence that year, the seeds from those plants the next year will be more fungal resistant.
You guys are doing it in different regions too, even between the farms. You can tell the difference between.
Yeah, here we're blessed. It's a Mediterranean climate in this area. We can grow year round actually here. You can actually do a full winter rip outdoors in this area for like, the flower doesn't look the best, but you can do it for like hash extraction or whatever.
Wow.
There's a lot of people in this neighborhood that just planted their final crop of the year.
Really?
Yep. 8 years old, I germinated ganja seed, one ganja seed, put it in the woods behind my house, grew one little ganja plant that never got harvested. Back then you didn't really talk about it. I wouldn't say paranoid, I was just really like abundantly cautious about just like, hey, this is like something I do, this is a really big part of me, but it's not something I necessarily like project out into the world because, you know, back in the day, you get in a lot of trouble.
What are we looking at here, and how would you describe like the terps on it?
This is pancake flats, and so we have 6 blueberry pancakes. I went back to the original cross I made out of the blueberry pancakes because I was having a really hard time breeding her. She's been out of stock for a while. The phenos we were picking, like they were great phenos, but they just wouldn't set seed really well. So I went back in time essentially to my initial cross of purple panty dropper and slurricane, and these are those plants. And from these, we've found some that they're epic at producing seeds, still have the blueberry pancake terps. I think about it as hallways. So like when you like create a new strain, you create a new hallway. And off that hallway, there's all these different doors that are the different phenotypes. And behind each door, there's another hallway. If you get into a hallway, all of a sudden there's a kind of a dead end. If you have kept your seeds well labeled and cataloged, you can always back up and go essentially back in time and then retrace your steps to see, oh, did something go wrong? What was my selection here? Or how can I improve this?
Or go down another hallway.
Or completely go off into left field and go from a fruity to a gassy to everything in between. The name of this one came to me like, when just smelling it, it was like blueberry, it was almost like blueberry syrup. The fake syrup that they would use at like IHOP or whatever, that would be flavored like blueberries. Yeah. I really love flower production and seeing the final product of it and smelling it. But really what keeps me passionate and interested in it is just the diversity that you can find in breeding, knowing all the different hallways that you can go down and different paths that you can take when you're working with cannabis plants. The options seem endless. Anyone that calls themselves like a master grower or just like a master of this, like as soon as you get to that point where you're like, oh, I've really figured this out, all of a sudden it blows itself wide open and the well gets 10 times deeper than you ever thought it could get. In here, every pot's a different genetic. Stuff that I've collected from around the world, stuff that's been, stuff that we've released, like the Guzzlers and the Gazerpal and the Cali Octane. And then other ones are new stuff that I've been working on that's like not quite finished, but we have a good Pheno hunt winner that we're back crossing into. So we're actively using it for breeding. This is all my sister's work. She keeps everything in here super happy. We do a lot of seed starts and we do a lot of seed starting for bigger farms in California licensed market. So like in here we'll have Pheno hunting stuff in one greenhouse, and the next greenhouse over we'll have 100,000 2-inch tall baby seed plant starts ready to go off to a farm in Santa Barbara or somewhere in the Central Valley. This machine and this setup, we're able to plant 70,000 seeds in one day with 3 people. So the only way that we're actually able to like reach such a great audience with, we have acres of, plants growing that you guys have seen, and this is the machine that really is the backbone of that.
Hey Ben?
Yeah.
We got a surprise for you, buddy. On behalf of the team, ACINFINITY, everyone involved, we have a little gift for you too.
Oh, shoots.
Thank you guys so much for the hospitality and showing us around your farm and just everything that you guys do. It's been absolutely amazing. It was really special, so thank you guys so much.
Dude, thank you all for coming and sharing your passion about the plant with us, and just like, I know it's always so heartwarming to like the stoke, passing the stoke back and forth and seeing you guys' stoke has brought kind of more stoke to me and to us.
Yeah, thank you so much for traveling all the way from all the different places you guys came from to see us.
I'm definitely stealing the stoke thing. I like that. Passing the stoke. We want to pass you some stoke, man. So we got a nice little box for you guys to check out in here. Inside there you'll find a cool traditional 3-hole hash pipe that we had custom made for this trip.
Yeah. We also have a map of our travels to present to you guys. So, and of course, Humboldt is a huge part of our travels, and we just wanted you guys to
Sick.
What a journey you guys have been
on. The treasure map.
All right.
Yeah.
For me is most certainly probably the most special place to be able to come visit, because this is where it all started. Meeting Ben, right when you guys came down to Columbia, trying the blueberry muffin, and then somehow getting an invite to a Pheno hunt last year completely changed my life. And the first thing I was thinking about while I was on the road during that whole journey was like, could I be able to share this experience with some of my other closest friends that are also creating content and showing the world little slices, of what's going on. For me, this is like the coolest wrap up to be able to be here with you guys, share at least a little something with you guys. It means a lot to me. So thank you guys for being so cool and letting us come roll down.
Emerald Dot! We did it.
Yeah, fucking did it,
Thank
boys.
you, dude. Give me a hug.
Fucking group hug.
Group hug.
Amazing, dude. To be able to, get in, everybody. Let's all group hug. Get in.
Good job,
Yeah. We did it. It's the first time all being here together. It's not the last.
Before we left, Ben had one last little surprise. It was something he wanted to send home with us.
Smells like almost like juicy fruit, like the gum.
He knew we love growing autos, and that's what we started our channel on. So he took us out at night right before we left and took some cuts of some new auto breeding projects that he's been working on. Straight from the field in the dark. I can't wait to see how these turn out, but definitely we'll grow them out. See if we get some.
Honored.
Bam.
Oh yeah. Let it dry out. Hopefully get this out.
You have to let it dry out.
Dang, thank you, Ben.
Seeds are done. Like the seeds are like done.
Wow. Dang, so is this unreleased or something brand new?
So this is Hella Jelly Auto Flower. So we took a clone, the phenotype winner of Hella Jelly. We crossed it to an auto flower, which was initially our Emerald Fire OG auto. Literally, I just completed this project and just feel comfortable enough to give this to you guys to test, essentially to proof. You can do your own little mini pheno hunt.
This is wild. We're super excited to be able to take these home right from Ben's house where they were created and be able to grow them out.
This journey has taken us through the twists and turns of the Emerald Triangle to meet its legends and hear their stories. But the story is just beginning. When California legalized cannabis, it was supposed to uplift small family-run farms. Yet it's become a fight for survival. Legacy farmers, not just in the Emerald Triangle, but across the country, are being pushed aside as corporate giants move in.
We've seen firsthand what's at stake: the legacy, the families, and the communities. And we have met some incredible people who are fighting to protect the future of the Emerald Triangle.
Like Nat and Halle from the Humboldt Seed Company, who are leading the charge for change, inspiring us to rethink how we support our friends, communities, and the planet we all share. They're growing and breeding the genetics that define the future of this plant and their legacy. Their vision isn't just a dream, it's a roadmap to a better future and better weed.
Jason and Johnny are proof that friendship, cooperation, and collaboration are key to sustaining their farms and communities. Johnny having paid the price for the war on drugs, and Jason growing up, learning how important cannabis farming is to support their local community. Together, they're preserving their community's legacies and ensuring the voices of the small farmers are heard. While their love for the plant and passion for growing showcase some of the best the Emerald Triangle has to offer, their unique strains like the Whitethorn Rose and Lantz ensure that they will be remembered for generations to come.
Then there's Mendo Dope, Old E, and Bleezy, who are rewriting the narrative. Through their music, they're amplifying the movement of growing and cannabis culture, making every beat a statement of strength and unity. From the studio to the fields of Mendocino County, their passion for the plant and sharing their growing knowledge makes them as legendary in the Triangle as their cup-winning strain, Headies.
Or like Jacob and Colby from Wildleaf Farms, who have had a passion for growing since a young age and learned from the legends in their community. With the help of their family and grandparents, they have helped shake the stigma of cannabis and turn their passion into a way to support their family while doing something they love. And Ben, the other half of the Humboldt Seed Company, whose passion for the plant and breeding has led him around the world in search of new strains, new terps, and new methods to unlock all the power of this plant. From genes to beans, he's helping develop the future of genetics for the world.
Each of these farms is not just about cultivating cannabis. They're about cultivating community. They're involved in local initiatives, supporting local businesses, and even providing educational resources for people to learn about sustainable farming practices. These farms aren't just businesses, they're pillars of their communities. These small, family-owned farms are fighting to stay afloat in a landscape that increasingly favors large corporate operations. But despite the challenges, they're still holding strong. They've been here through thick and thin, through the black market days, through the ups and downs of legalization, and now they're facing yet another struggle for survival.
That's where the real strength of the community comes in. It's not just about the plants, it's about the people. These farms are legends because of the passion, the heart, and the soul that they put into their work. And they're fighting not just for themselves, but for the future of their communities and the craft that they love.
We're not just talking about farms in the Emerald Triangle. We're talking about all of us. Every single one of you who's out there growing, whether you've got a backyard full of plants or you're making the most of a tiny apartment or basement grow. We're all connected by this plant, this love we share for it, and the way it brings us together. We share our knowledge, our struggles, and our victories, no matter where we are.
We all have a responsibility to one another to stand up for what's right. These small farmers, just like us home growers, are all in this together. We're all united by our love for this plant and growing, and it's that connection, that sense of unity that makes us stronger as a community.
They're not just legends because of the cannabis they grow, but because of the heart they put into everything they do. They're showing us how important it is to stick together, to keep learning, and to keep growing, literally and figuratively.
So let's keep supporting each other. Let's keep growing, sharing, and staying connected as a community. Because whether you're in the Emerald Triangle or in your own garden, we're all part of this incredible community, sharing our passion for this plant around the world.
We want to say thank you to all the legends and everyone who made this trip possible. Welcoming and treating us like family, sharing your stories and passion, and leading by example.
And if there's one thing we can all learn from these legends, it's to work together. Because together we can make a change. to help protect our planet for a better future and to continue on the legacy of the plant we all love.
We want to say thank you to you, our amazing viewers and community. Your support has made all of this possible. We're so grateful for every like, comment, and subscriber who has joined the Highigan fam over the years. Those who have been watching from the start and supported us along the way, and those of you who have watched this far.
And a huge shout out to Sydney, Drew, and the whole ACINFINITY team. Without them, this trip would not have been possible. They are true innovators and supporters of this community, and your support using our code Highigan helps us keep creating this kind of content and support our passion for this plant.
And last, but certainly not least, a massive thank you to our Patreons for directly supporting our content and all the work we put into it. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for helping us chase our dreams.
Oh my gosh, you had to, didn't you?
He's here now.
Cute.
Everybody's about to meet Bing Bong for the first time.
They finally took me out of the suitcase. I'm ready for the California, the Lantz.
Damn, girl.
Fresh California air. Doing it. Oh, this better be cinematic. Like a boss. That's right. Ooh. That's right, Jade. Hit that set. Yes, Tiana. Homegrown hits.
Exactly. Oh, see, I forget that.
You were filming it?
Whoa!
What a handsome boy.
Oh,
Look at this handsome
baby.
boy.
Oh, what? The bear. He's like, let me
Look,
in.
and right there too. There's a bear claw in it. Look.
Yeah, look at that. Autoflower hash.
That's a Ridgeback Lollipopper.
Definitely. It's a wild one. Only in the northern parts of Humboldt. You should probably lick it though. How's that feel? The fresh mountain water. A little chilly? Yeah.
Give me a little handshake, bud.
In the fields of green.
Bubble bath.
Bubble bath.
Oh, it
really does like a bar of soap.
Especially when you get down the bottom of the joint or the blunt too, it starts to do some weird shit to your tongue, like your mouth rinsed out.
You got your mouth rinsed out.
Dude, I like these. It's like a never ending summer vibe.
Oh my god, look who's doing it. He's doing it, guys. Are you filming it?
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
But it's choice to do it. Yeah, we're gonna be trying something.
Full claps, Dakota.
Found a chimney. What is this?
It's the only thing left after fire.
Where they're gonna cook our pizza.
Yeah, pizza night.
Wow, the hammock swing. What a spot. We TV cribs.
Oh, this is yum.
You know, if I told you, I'd probably upskill you.
Okay.
Yeah. Get ya?
Stony bologna? Me too. I smoked fucking two of those.
I just like the one that had the whatever the fucking the line of whatever.
Gotta get to know me.
Swinging in the trees.
On the playground.
Ooh, wait, okay.
I gotta say, one of my best highlights of the trip, though, is hitting that zucchini bong.
Oh my God, look at that go. This is clear. Woo! Yes.
Yeah, that was my favorite. Nat came out with that zucchini. I thought we were eating it for dinner. He says, I'm making a bong. I thought he was joking. Nope. And I was blessed enough to be able to hit it first. I was so excited.